Happy Thursday. Here we are yet again. So today I wanted to do something from the Blue Cliff Record, which is a different koan collection than we've been in the Mumonkan. The Blue Cliff Record is a collection of old Chinese koans. As you might know, the ancient Chinese were quite literate, and so there's a whole collection of different koans from what was called the Golden Age of Zen, and they have comments and there's lots made of these. So I'm going to just read the koan, which is actually quite short. Whenever Master Gutai was asked a question, he would just raise a finger. Like that. So people come in and go, what is the nature of mind? My legs hurt when I practice. My partner is annoying. Right? Whatever the question, he would just raise a finger. What in the world? Right? And so we could go in our mind will go a couple ways with this. Like one way the mind goes is like, well, it's symbolic of something, right? Like we're all one, right? So it must be symbolic of that, right? I had a woman get very angry at me a couple of weeks ago because the place that I work, the hand dryers in the bathroom are really loud, like jet engine loud, and you can't hear. And this person was like, I want something. And I was like, because it was like, I want something. And I was like, just like, and I wasn't like, I was just like I thought it was obvious, right? There's like a screaming jet engine noise, right? And I can't, and she's like, basically she was like, I don't have time for this. And she stormed off. She was all angry at me, right? And she was more hostile seeming than that. But, so then I ended up like, because she wouldn't wait, being like, if you just wait a second, I'll help you, right? Now I'm yelling at her. So it's interesting, right? Because maybe what Gutai is doing is like, I just put something out there and see how you respond, right? And some people respond by, oh, I'll wait patiently. Some people respond by, yeah, you're terrible, I hate you, and they storm off, right? But what I think about is like, like whatever the question is, the answer is right there. Like it's on the tip of the finger, like it's right there. Like he's giving it back. One of the dangers, like for me, one of the pitfalls I can fall into is, well, I'm a Zen teacher and a therapist. So I have like, let me tell you all the ways I know what you should do, right? So how wonderful to be a teacher that didn't like, no, I'm not gonna take it away from you. I'm gonna give it right back. Like, you have a question? Here you go. Like, what are you gonna do? Because Zen is a path of self-study. Zen is a path of self-awakening. And so, like, you have the answer, right? Like, when the Buddha was enlightened, he said, I and all beings are simultaneously enlightened, meaning everyone's already enlightened. So it's right there, you already have it. Because we're not talking about technical questions here. We're not talking about, hey, when I paint a room, I have a hard time not getting blotches on the ceiling. Do you have any advice? Right? Well, the answer to that is not, right? The answer to that is like, oh, well, let me recommend a brush selection for, cutting in or something, right? But for, spiritual matters, right? Matters of the heart, matters of the spirit, matters of, we sometimes call the Dharma the great matter, right? Or the matter of life and death, right? The idea that, what are we studying when we study the self? We're studying everything, right? What is this thing that keeps coming up, right? What is this thing that seems to adapt to all conditions and then have opinions about them? What is this thing when all the opinions fall away? Right? Just hey, show up right here. Like in my fantasy, I imagine, certainly Gutai talked to his students sometimes. I mean, he had Dharma airs, right? Like, you can't teach the Dharma, but maybe not. We don't know. You don't know that much about him, right? Some of these older, ancient figures are sort of semi-mythological anyway, so, who knows? But it doesn't matter, right? The point is, like, how much better is our life if we just chill out, just stop, chill out for a second. Like, just do it to yourself, right? Oh my God, how am I going to get through this difficult conversation? Sounds ridiculous, right? Look at your finger. But have you ever had the experience of you actually sit down and get quiet and all of a sudden an answer that hadn't occurred to you occurs to you? Because when we ask a question, when we ask a spiritual question, part of what we're presupposing is that the answer to that question lies in someone else, right? But it doesn't. It doesn't ever. The answer to every spiritual question is in you. I'm totally poor and destitute. I have nothing to give you. So the reason why we do all this isn't because I have something to give you. The reason we do all of this is because we're creating an environment where you can discover it. And all of the koans and all of the going into daesan and all of the bowing and chanting, all of it is in the service of learning how to go within and find out. Because it's there. If you go within and then what's there is tears, then cry, right? If you go within and what's there is joy, then be joyful. If you go within and you keep having the same anxious thought about a problem that won't go away, go hang out with that. Open up the hood, see what's inside. So how compassionate, right? Instead of being well, listen here, the thing you got to do is, there's Gutai, just, hi. Just take a look. See what's what. And what faith to place in each person, right? I believe in you. You can figure it out. You can heal yourself. You can discover your own enlightenment. You can. Right? It's already there. You have it. You have it. So someone left a sound machine in here and it's making rain sounds. And I love it. That's so cool. That's the same as Gutai's answer, right? Rain sounds. It's not different. Okay, I think that's enough for today.